looking at the life of Jesus, interruptions was a big part of him fulfilling his mission. And if our mission is to love and serve people, that it can be the same way for us. Interruptions can be thought of as God-sent adjustments to our schedule, which actually are going to help us do what he has in mind for us. They're not frustrating. They're not frustrating to our mission. And I had this day when the scales kind of fell away, and I saw this, what I've been talking about, how that love is why I'm here. And interacting with love with my students, with every interaction, that's what this is about. And that's going to be life-changing for them as they experience me in that way. And if it's not there, then no matter how effective I am in getting all my stuff done and in accomplishing my to-do list, my life will be in vain if they don't sense that love from me in every interaction. And I saw how much I miss people by being absent-minded, by choosing to think about the pressure of the moment rather than these wonderful, these made in God's image people right in front of me. And so I determined that it's going to change, and so of course we're still working on it. So does that mean if we adopt this new mindset that we're going to lose all a sense of urgency for our to-do lists? We're going to just sort of turn into this quivering blob of warm fuzziness? Well, let's talk about focus. Carefully manage one of your most valuable resources, your attention. First of all, single task. Multitasking used to be a buzzword. It's not anymore. Multitasking, some people can multitask, I admit. I'm not one of them. But what they're saying now is that nobody can multitask very well. People think they can multitask, but they're actually just single tasking in rapid succession. Attention is a finite resource, and we've got to manage our attention carefully. Be careful with your attention. You can't control it as well as you think. So, manage your tasks. Have a single inbox. Number 2 there. Have a system you can depend on. One of the things that keeps us from maximum productivity is having all these things floating around in our brain of things we said we would do, things we're supposed to be doing. We're trying to make sure we don't miss anything. And if we don't have a really good, reliable system for keeping that stuff where it's supposed to be, we're never going to be at maximum productivity because we're always flustered and trying to make sure we don't miss anything. So if we have a system that works, we can have a mind that is free to function like it should. So single inboxes just means that on your desk, you have a place where all of your incoming papers go. Always. They always go to the same place. And anything, a bill, whatever, it's always going right there, and then you process out of that. So there's not multiple places for incoming things. You also need this single inbox idea for your to-do list. And that can be done different ways. If you have a smartphone with Google on it, you can use Google Reminders, just to set a reminder that you're going to look at always. Whenever you sit down at your planner, you're going to look at those incoming reminders, and you're going to transfer them to the right place in your plan. That way, you're going to make sure you have a system that works, and it could be different for different people. Time chunking is meaning that you do the same type of activities together. So, email, lots of opinions about email, but it has become a beast for a lot of people just because it takes a lot of time. Do all your emails at one time. Because if we're always looking at our email all the time, it's that attention thing again. Our mind is going to that email, and then we forget what we were working on, and it takes a few seconds to get back to there and pick up where we left off. I advise turning off notifications for email. Why do you need to be notified when you get an email? That's not the nature of email. You shouldn't have to know when you got an email. You should be able to go to your email when you want to, when it suits you, look at it and respond. So chunk all your emailing time together. Calling, you can make phone calls, chunk them all in your schedule at one place, because you kind of get in the mode of calling. It's just like, I'm going to call this person, I'm going to call this person, I'm going to call this person. You don't stop and agonize over every one. You just do it. And then all your calls are out of the way. You're checking if you're a teacher. Try to do all that at one time. These are ideals. I'm going to go back and try to implement them once again. Time boxing, number 4. If you have some tasks in front of you that aren't particularly pleasant, then you time box. What that means is you say, okay, I'm going to study for this class for 30 minutes. And then I'm going to write these letters that I've been putting off, and I'm going to work on those for 15 minutes. So you write those things in your schedule, you have a timer, you set it, you turn it on, and then you start doing it. I mean, this is like what you do for children, right? Well, it works for me, too. It's like, sometimes you just can't start doing something. So you say, okay, I hate doing that, but I'm going to do it for 15 minutes. And you set your timer and you do it, and then you actually find that once you get into it, you can actually keep going further than that once you get started. So that's something I've done quite a bit of. Clean desk, number 5. There's a statistic out there that if you have a clean desk, you can stick with a task 60% longer. And I believe it. That's back to attention. If your desk is messy, you can't focus. Well, people are different. I know some people say they like a messy desk, and it expresses their amazing personality and all of that. Well, I used to believe that too, actually. I've changed. I've become one of those really boring people. But it's really helping me to get a few things done. So I've got my inbox over there. It might be kind of full, but at least I know where stuff is. And my desk isn't all cluttered with all this junk. I'm not sure what to start on first. And then routines and rituals. One of the big things here is having an ideal week plan. This is just trying to schedule, this is what an ideal week would look like. This is when I do certain things. And you can see there's a lot of space in here for variation. And of course the word ideal means that most of the time it's not going to work out this way. But at least you have a plan. At this time of day, on this day, I do this thing. Remember, love. Love is the most important thing in every moment, in every interaction. And then hone your focus. Your mission is not to everyone in the whole world. It's limited to a place and a time and a group of people. Find that mission. And then set yearly, quarterly, weekly, daily priorities. Chunk your tasks. Rule your email. Don't let it rule you. Establish routines in an ideal week. And then stay energized by balancing stress and recovery. Your life is a series of sprints, not a long marathon.